Hey, yo, what up? Welcome back. There's not a podcast. It's just my thoughts with Rob Markman. Want to come back, circle back, hit y'all with some quick news, a quick update, but also just wanted to have a discussion. I don't think we're going to spend a lot of time here as it relates to just content, media in general, my place in it, my views on things, right? First of all, I want to thank all y'all for watching, liking, subscribing. Please consider subscribing. Please comment. Please like. You engage. I do my best to engage back. But if you remember back in January, news broke that TDE was hit with a $48 million civil lawsuit by two Jane Does, actually a Jane Doe and a Jane Roe, which, and they alleged sexual misconduct. I did a video on it when the news broke. TDE President Anthony Tiffith Jr., aka Musa, is one of the accused, and company chief marketing officer Brandon Tiffith is the other executive accused. Right after the news broke, TDE, through their legal counsel Marty Singer, immediately denied the claims. He called it a shakedown, and he said that the claims were baseless and fabricated, and he said that they were confident that TDE will prevail in this case. When TDE and their counsel responded with their statement, they referred to the plaintiffs by their full legal names. And so the women went ahead and amended their lawsuit to include doxing among their causes of action. And so they claimed that they endured online harassment and professional setbacks after their names were released. So here's the news. Here's the development. Late last week on Thursday, I believe, a Los Angeles County judge ruled that TDE will face the doxing claims as well, in addition to the sexual misconduct. TDE's lawyers argued that they didn't violate California law by identifying the accusers by name. They're arguing that the plaintiffs had went to the media without obtaining a court order to seal their names. And so, I don't know who's right or who's wrong. I don't know who the law actually supports in this case, but the judge felt it important enough for them to argue it out in court, right? So this will be decided in court. But it leads to a bigger conversation that I want to have as it relates to me, as it relates to the content that I create, as it relates to the landscape of media, podcasting, social media, where anybody says anything. I'm not a lawyer and I don't pretend to be. And so I have no desire to defend these things in court. That's why I err on the side of caution. So when I reported on that TDE statement, if you remember that first video, and I put it on the screen, I blanked out the names from that statement. I actually, I just blanked out the names because I was like, well, I don't want to be the one responsible. Granted, TDE's lawyers said it. I still don't think I would be in any trouble by saying the names, but I just blanked it out. I didn't want no parts of that. And these, again, are alleged victims. So, you just don't play with victims like that. And the funny thing is, I actually have email correspondence with one of the women. So when I saw one of the woman's names, I was like, oh, I recognize that name. Oh, we've traded emails about something completely unrelated to what this case is. Completely 1,000% unrelated to what this case is. But I recognize the name. And so when I posted it, I made sure to leave it blank just because I don't want to be the one to reveal someone's names like that. Now, again, whether TDE's lawyers were within their right, the courts will decide that now. That's not, I don't know. I don't know if any of us know. There may be some out here who are legal experts. Maybe but I certainly don't know. So I won't pretend to know. Part of this whole media thing is also saying, you know what? I don't know. A lot of people get up in these mics and be afraid to say, I don't know. I don't know are magical words, or powerful words you could admit when you don't know something. I don't know. So I'm erring on the side of caution. I'm not playing with it. Many of you watch every Sunday, right? I give a weekly recap of the Diddy trial. I don't go day by day, even though there was an update today. Actually, if you watched the last video, they actually released the juror. There was a juror that last week they were talking about releasing, and they actually dismissed the juror today. We'll talk about that maybe next week. If it becomes real big news, we'll talk about it later this week. But anyway, a lot of y'all watch my Diddy recaps, and there's controversy in the Diddy story with a Jane Doe who just testified, just came off the stand, was cross-examined. Jane Doe testified about her relationship with Diddy and the freak-offs that she participated in, and she's a Jane Doe. She's a Jane Doe, but based off of her testimony and the facts that she's given And the rumor mill, there's things that come up in the court about, that she has another rapper as her child's father. You know what I'm saying? Like, this rapper and Diddy have beef. Like there was enough kind of facts, and it didn't take a rocket scientist to put together who Jane Doe really was. Many folks easily figured out who she is, and many media outlets reported who the Jane Doe in the Diddy case is. And the courts have discussed if there's any action that they can take with these media outlets to prevent this. And I'm seeing all this develop, and I'm like, man, I don't need that in my life. Like, why do I need that in my life to put so I could get a spicier headline out of it? Now, there's a responsibility that I personally have in media to my audience, and that's to the victims or alleged victims, right? In this case, on these things that are undecided, they are alleged victims. I have a responsibility to them, and I have a responsibility to myself. I also just watch what I say about people. This isn't the same thing, but it's a little bit related. I always look at the Cardi B, Tasha K situation for those who are unaware. Cardi B sued Tasha K, who is in the media space. YouTube, I think, is her primary platform. Sued her for defamation and won $4 million. Won $4 million. Like to me, that set a precedent. That set this precedent of, and what Tasha K was saying, I won't repeat, but she was spreading rumors about Cardi B, some stuff that the court rule is defamatory. Yeah, we had to tell the truth. Yeah, I'm responsible for telling you guys the truth. But being in media, getting on this camera, getting on social media, to me, isn't a license to just say what you want about anybody, famous or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not necessarily even to protect these celebrities. It's to protect myself. You know what I'm saying? So if I lose a few views because I'm less salacious than others in the space, so be it. I'm cool with that. But I'm cool knowing that, hey, my intent was to do things the right way. You know what I'm saying? And follow and do this thing with some integrity. But yeah, I just wanted to come and talk about that because I thought it was interesting. I thought the TDE thing was interesting. Again, nothing has been decided. The court will actually decide on, again, the sexual misconduct. If the doxing thing actually holds up and if TDE was in the wrong. All of this will have to be decided in court. But, to then we'll wait and just report the news, you know what I'm saying? And that's the way I see it. But I appreciate y'all sticking around. I appreciate y'all supporting me day after day. I appreciate y'all getting me to 4.5 million cumulative views. We almost have 40,000 subscribers. And, sometimes I just like to talk to y'all and give y'all a clue onto how I do things and why I do things. And, there's a little bit of news in here, but sometimes there's a bigger lesson within all of that. All right. But I'm sure we'll speak again. Till the next time. All right. Take care of yourselves. Peace.